This is really going way over their heads. Maybe you can explain for us?
Let me just explain that in a few minutes, very few, Dibal. But let me start by saying to my friend Khalwale that certainly I hear you on the perception you have about my attendance to the meeting. But with due respect also let you know that I don't owe you an apology at all for any position I may take in politics, and you know, it's my right. However, I also take the honor of having you know, welcomed you to Jubilee and dressed you up in the cape, and I'm still a member of Jubilee. What I want, I would want to urge most of us politicians is this: that when it comes to issues that are life and death issues about our people, about the future of our children, we must separate politics from it. And I want to re-emphasize what I've said, because that's what I believe and that's what I stand for. That when it comes to the interest of the people of Mount Kenya region, where I come from, then politics take a backstage. I'll deal with the issues, then wait for politics later. And so when I attended that meeting, my friend Bonnie, I did so because that meeting is in my region. That is the opportunity for us as the people of Mount Kenya. And when I spoke, that's what I said in both meetings, Friday and Saturday, that for all of those who have come to Mount Kenya that time, that is our meeting, not your meeting. And so leave us to deal with our issues. Now, on this question that you have brought about one man, one vote, anyway, I believe it's a while since the last time we sat with you in Senate. And this while pulling of politics may have clouded your mind a little bit on the issues. But I start with you as the chair of Public Accounts Committee, Bonnie Khalwale. And when we were sitting there, one of the questions we were asking with this gentleman here, and I hope you've not forgotten conveniently, was, for example, how is it, as my brother has said there, that Turkana County, with a population of at most 1 million, has an allocation of almost 15 million, while Nairobi, forget Kiambu, Nairobi, which has a population of, in the night now, more than 8 million, and 5 million in the daytime, gets less by almost 4 billion than Turkana. I mean, and the simple fact that you forget conveniently, Bonnie, I would say so, is this: that we even worked out and we have the data of the per capita allocation, the allocation per person. I want to tell you, in Kiambu, the allocation per person is about 1,700 per person. In Tana River, the per capita allocation is about 24,000 shillings. The per capita allocation in Turkana is about 28,000. And do your mathematics per person. So what we are saying, said you're asking the same question. Look at the per capita allocation for each person in Kakamega County. You are less than at less than 3,000 bob from the allocations you receive, while somebody in the same republic is receiving more than 28,000 and continue. Now, lastly, you know, these percentages that Bonnie has spoken about, I want to, maybe let me explain to Kenyans who may have the interest. Yes, it is true. Population right now with the new proposals, that generation formula, is intended to be at 45%, but 45% across the board for everyone, whether you're in Turkana, whether you're in Mandera, whether you're in Kiambu. And then we have the 26%, which is equitable share. That is spread across the board to everybody. But after that has happened, there are other allocations which exclude the other counties. For example, we have an allocation that is called Equalization Fund. That excludes all the other counties. We have one called poverty. Poverty excludes so many other counties. We have another one that is that's called landmass. Most of the counties, including Kakamega, including Kiambu, including Nairobi, do not benefit from landmass. Just to give you an example, and I don't want to belabor the point, but I want Kenyans to understand. For example, if you look at some counties like Narok, like Taita Taveta, those Mombasa, but mostly like those other two, you look at some counties that benefit from national government allocations because largely those counties are game reserves. For example, like Taita Taveta. But yet, in the formula, they are compensated for land mass at almost 18%. So what you're saying is that after receiving everything with everyone else, then there are extras that they receive. And that is how you find that, for example, that question you're asking, Jacoyo, how then a county like Turkana will receive more than Nairobi is because of that they have so many other additionals once they have already shared everything else with everybody equally. And so that last point you made on the true population numbers, who has not complained about the census of 2009 that was used earlier? And we have new census results, Boni Khalwale. And then any Kenyan who cares to follow. And those numbers have been given out. Even ourselves in Kiambu, I said it here, we were not satisfied with those numbers. We believe, like myself, I believe that the population of Kiambu right now stands at almost 3 million people. We were given about 2 million, but we have the rest of the numbers. How do you have voters who are in excess of 1.2 million, now going to 1.4 with a population of 2 million? We are above that. And the census shows those numbers. So that's an argument we can have for another day. But the one man, one vote, one shilling argument is simply about what I said. It is about equality. It is about equity. It is about fairness. It is about ensuring that more resources are allocated to the people of Kenya across the board, other than other factors that do not contribute necessarily to the welfare of the person.
Right, thank you.
That's the point.
So,
yes. Is it Boni Khalwale? It is Eseli. It is Eseli, then you.
Oh.
Yes, Eseli.
Oh, I see.
I think while some of the things that Wamatangi has said are valid, but I think we need, I said this earlier, we can talk about sharing the national cake among counties and so on. But we are talking about sharing a cake that's collapsing. The economy is collapsing. So why don't we look at this economy first? And one simple thing, very simple thing that we need to do, well, simple but difficult too, we have to stop the politics of patronage. That politics of patronage is actually damaging the economy. So even as we talk about sharing the national cake, let's first of all improve our economy and safeguard it from this misbehavior. Because like if you look at the start, page, is it page 23 or 24? Where it said that whatever the rate of what you'd call Kenya's economic crime, fraud among highest globally. Economic crime and fraud is among the highest globally. Those are the things that are ailing this country. So if we don't step up and stop this misbehavior, we can talk about sharing the national cake, but this cake is shrinking at this rate. So even if we say one man, one vote, one shilling, we are going to get fewer shillings because we are shrinking the economy. And in fact, with that kind of thing, then this politics of patronage comes in. Like, if you check on somebody like Mobutu in his Zaire then, by the time he died, people expected that Mobutu had a lot of money hidden away, only to find that the amount of money he had squirreled away was not so much. Most of what he had stolen, he had used it to buy support. That's the politics of patronage. Okay. So if this is the situation we are in Kenya, we need to stop it.
All right, thank you. There's a very interesting editorial cartoon also in the People Daily today, and this is all about BBI and you know, those particular posts that we do have. Prime Minister, the President, the Deputy President, or the Deputy Prime Minister, I should say, all the way down to MCS. And Wanjiku is asking, God, who will feed them? You're talking about the national cake. Yes, we're not really growing this particular national cake.
Everybody's trying to get to where the feeding trough is. There isn't enough space on the feeding trough. That's why we want all these positions. And because of our tribalism, we all think that if our man is at the feeding trough, then we'll also get to feed. Because of the politics of patronage. Yes, we expect that this person at the feeding trough will be able to pass some goodies to you.
First of all, because the national cake is not really growing, Boni Khalwale.
Eseli is so right. The mindset of the leader from my tribe has captured almost all Kenyans. You find a cattle herder and a professor at the university from the same community, they are captured. A professor from that community and a fisherman, they're all captured. A boda from that community and a professor from that community are all captured. The point is this. That's why we are talking about the cost of running government. The moment you attempt to expand the executive as proposed by the latter-day reggae leaders, you are doing exactly what the cartoon is speaking to. You are saying, let us expand without caring who is baking the cake. Allow me to respond to a very important issue raised by my brother. My brother, I saw you get a PhD the other day, which means that if you are not in politics, you have a chance of going to the university to teach. Please, when you look for a university in which to teach, don't enter any of the Kenyan universities. You would be a very poor teacher.
Why, my friend? Tell me why. Give me a reason.
The things
and justify the reason.
Yes, the things you are telling Kenyans about the formula for sharing revenue are all lies.
No, it is not. It's in the Constitution, my friend. Unless you stop reading.
They're all lies. The one fated, the one weight of that formula that spreads across the board is 25%. Irrespective of your population, level of poverty, size of your county, you get 25%.
That's what I call shareable revenue.
You get, share. Relax, Mwalimu. You get 25% fixed for all the 47 counties.
Yes.
Then they start giving you on merit. The first merit is population. The more people you have, the more you get. And what is the factor? 45%.
It doesn't change across the board.
The second one, Mwalimu, please. The second one is population. Is poverty. The poorer you are, the more you get. The poverty levels have been worked for all the 47 counties, and it is 20%. And then, depending on the size of the constituency, you are given 8%. And then, depending on how physically responsible your county government is, you get 20%. So people with better physical responsibility, out of that 2%, they get more. Now, I want to attempt to request my brother Jakoyo, bear with Turkana. How Turkana ends up with those billions more than everybody else is that A, they benefit from the large size of the county, 8%. Then they benefit from those unacceptable, completely unacceptable poverty levels in Turkana. It is on this panel that we have been discussing how unacceptable it is for people to go and eat wild fruits in Turkana. That thing can never happen in Kakamega. Number 3.
And the last one.
Oh, okay.
Number 3 and the last one.
Okay. So and then let me conclude by saying that this formula, and let Kenyans know, is not worked out by the Senate. It is pushed by the Senate, but it is worked out by professionals at the Commission for Revenue Allocation. They are not fools. Those are professionals. They are not tribalists. They actually they were calling us, I don't know whether they still do it these days. They invite senators and plead with us.
Thank you.
That please support this formula because professionally, scientifically, it is the one which appears to be fairest. The problem is the greed that some people think that they are more than they are.
Thank you.
And they think, some people in Mount Kenya cheat.
Thank you.
That they contribute more to the GDP than other communities.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie Khalwale. We want to take a short break.